Welcome to MS Research Australia's Research Report. I'm Dr. Hamish Campbell, and in this series we explore the research that's going on in Australia and around the world. In this episode, we meet Professor Stephen Lord. Professor Lord is a world expert in walking and also falls prevention. He is currently recruiting people with MS for a fun, home-based trial which will hopefully help prevent people with MS falling. In this episode, he outlines why fall prevention is so important and how you can become involved.
Falls and fall prevention are very important in MS, firstly because falls are so common. In fact, about one person in two with MS is likely to fall in 6 months, and many fall multiple times. And the other thing is, falls lead to injuries. So major injuries, they can be fractures, cuts and abrasions, but also injuries to the head. So it's very important to try and avoid falls. Well, walking is to some extent automatic, but it also takes a lot more attention than what you might think. In fact, the classic test is for anybody to walk along and try and use a mobile phone, and you'll find out how it's not as automatic as we think. So in addition to our physiology, our strength, our balance and our sensation, we also need to attend to what we're doing, including walking. And that can decline with aging, and it can decline with a condition like MS. Well, our initial research on MS was aimed at trying to understand why people with MS fall. So we developed a series of neuromuscular and psychological and cognitive tests to try and identify what were key risk factors for fall risk. We've done that, and we've been able to identify with a good degree of accuracy why people with MS fall. And then the next step, of course, has been trying to put in some interventions to address these risk factors. Well, our research initially did look at these cognitive and physical risk factors, so a series of tests of balance, strength, coordination and thinking, and all of them are quantitative, and by using those we can look at them individually and then together to try and identify risk of falling. But importantly, our new work is really trying to prevent falls, and for this we've developed a step mat gaming system where people play interesting and engaging step exercises using a computer and video games in their own homes. We've conducted a pilot trial, and we've found that it improves balance, it improves some measurements of cognition and coordination, and also stepping performance. So that's going to lead on to our new trial, which is a definitive trial to see if this home-based video training can actually prevent falls. The next steps are the conduct of our large randomised control trial of home-based stepping using computer games in people's homes. So for this, we really want to recruit 500 people with MS, so it's a big trial, and so far we've got over 200, so 300 to go. And this involves a training program where we set up this system in a person's home. They undertake the exercises for 6 months, and then we retest them again to see if they've improved in their balance, their coordination, their ability to do cognitive tasks, and importantly, have a reduced rate of falls. Well, we have 8 games, and they've all been designed to really address some of the major risk factors for falling. So some of the games promote quick and accurate stepping. Some require inhibition, some require attention. And so there are a range of different games, and they're fun games. They're readily available adapted games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders, and we've got a cockroach stomping game. So they're all fun, but there's a reason behind each of them. They're all designed to challenge balance, to challenge stepping rate, and also involve thinking. People can be involved in our new trial if they're living in a number of different areas within Australia, in Sydney, Melbourne, Hobart, Newcastle or Canberra. We're actively recruiting, and we'd love people to take part. So it's a randomised control trial, and if people were interested, they could volunteer and take part in this intervention. As I mentioned, it's a 6 months training program. We provide the setup so people can do the interesting and fun video games in their own home, and we're really welcoming participants right now. Well, the aim of our trial really is to prevent falls and also to understand how this happened. What are the mechanisms in fall prevention? We will be able to tease this out by looking at a number of risk factors. Did it work by improving balance control, thinking, cognition, coordination, and stepping? Taking on from there, we'll be able to roll this out much further. So our aims are not to leave it at the end of the trial, but to really make our mat available widely. That's what we want to do. So it becomes a nice option for people to be able to exercise in their own homes at their own times and at their own convenience.
Now that's a brief snapshot of Professor Lord's work and clinical trial. Head to the MS Trials website for more information and to get involved. Also, make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future research reports. I'm Dr. Hamish Campbell, and I'll see you next time.